Music is timeless. I repeat, music is timeless. What up, you got Cinco Smith at wealthyrapper.com. And if you haven't already, visit wealthyrapper.com and go ahead and click that link and get access to a free video where I go over how artists are able to create multiple streams of income, even if they never get a record deal, even if they never get famous. Wealthyrapper.com should be a link below, but if not, you know how to spell, so spell it, get access to it instantly. Music is timeless. What do I mean? You see, this might be a first part to a multiples, but this is what you got to understand about music. A lot of times what I find is that artists get tired of their own music and feel as though just because it's old that it is not significant, meaning that just because it's old to them that it's no hope for the music. Listen, I've heard a ton of good songs over the days, and there's still certain songs that ring in my head of other people's music that I've heard, but because they thought it was old, they stopped pushing it. And there's certain times that happen in life that make me think about that song and say, man, if that song was in this moment, it would be booming. It will blow up right about now, but nobody knew about the song because they forgot that music is timeless. You see, it's a reason why certain artists, whether that's rap, whether that's R&B, whether that's blues, it's a reason why certain artists are practically immortal, meaning that they never die out. Every generation has grown to know who they are because music is timeless. Michael Jackson is one of them, and there's many other artists that we can speak on. Tupac, R. Kelly is definitely creating some timeless music, even though he's here. But just thinking about the people who have passed, Michael Jackson, Tupac, just to name two real quick. But music is timeless, and their music is still here. My sons know about Michael Jackson, and they wasn't even thought of when he was around. I barely was even thought of when he was doing this thing in the beginning. So that being said, the fact that they know him and he would pass before they were even on this earth lets you know that music positions you to be immortal. Immortality, timeless. It's no time as it relates to that music that you have inside of you that you have not created or that you have already created. So what does that have to do with you being a wealthy rapper? Everything. You see, this is what you got to understand. You might be an artist who created a song a long time ago. You knew it was a hit. You knew it had potential, but you didn't push it all the way. And you might have created it before all of this existed, the internet, and different platforms that can allow you to grow and go further. So let this be that push for you to pull back, knock the dust off of some of those old songs and see what you can get it to do. Because what you got to understand is people are always coming out with movies. People are always coming out with content. People are always coming out with videos and things that could be perfect for your music, no matter how old it is. Certain parts of their music may still be usable, and they can incorporate it into what they're doing. And if it's incorporated into what they're doing, then guess what? You're able to benefit and get some form of royalties from it if you have your song registered and all of that. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Donald Trump recently passed something pertaining to music. I'll do a whole nother video on that, but pertaining to music that allows artists as well as the performers of certain songs get a bulk of their money just based on that law being passed. That was something, Donald Trump signed into action, and a lot of musicians were very grateful because of it. So what you got to understand is that is another representation of how timeless music truly is. On another note, and like I said, this might have to be a multi-part series. Like what I'm about to say next is something that I think should be a video of its own. But this is how I view music. And if you're adopting this wealthy rapper mentality, I got a lot of other nuggets that, will kind of give you a new perspective. But this is how I view music. This is how I view a song. You see, we're in a time now where singles are important. A lot of times people just want to put out as much content, as much music as possible, and that's cool. And a lot of content is great in certain environments. Like for me, putting out a lot of content from an educational standpoint can be great. But as it relates to music, you might want to put out a single and give it a strong enough push before you just put out all these other pieces of music that has people all over the place when you can put more energy into one song and grow it to where it needs to go. That is true as well with business. Like I say, as an artist, as a rapper, you're a business. So if you put all of your effort into being an artist, then it's no telling how far you can go. Same goes with a song. If you put all of your effort into a song, it's no telling how far they can go and how many streams that you can create as forms of streams literally by people playing your music, or streams of revenue that can be created from that one song, which is one of the things that I teach inside of the Wealthy Rapper program that I have for you, if you decide to hop on board. But understanding that is also taking a step back and saying, you know what? Every one song I create is an asset. Really, every verse can be an asset, but every song that you create is an asset. I want you to think about that. Every song, individual song itself, is a business of its own, because it's people who are one-hit wonders, but they made more than many people will ever make in a lifetime off of one song. Now, I'm not here to say that every song is going to be a hit and is going to produce that type of revenue, but what I am saying is, with the right push and the right exposure in the right areas, every song is a business. Even if that's a song that generates 6 figures, 5 figures, it was an entity that created multiple streams. And since music is timeless, you never know how far that music can go while you're here as well as while you're not here. You might do a strong push for a song, then 5 years later something happens that was relevant in that song, and you know what? This is a good time for me to introduce this to some of the younger people who are on, certain platforms doing certain videos, and now they can make this or bring this to life again. Meanwhile, you already had it popular 5-10 years ago, but now you can repopular the song, if that's a word, and now that song just gained a new set of wings and got new life, because each song is a business. Each song is an asset of its own, and I'm not even going to unpack that and go any deeper, because that's a whole nother video, and I don't want this video to be too long. But understand that music is timeless, and by you understanding that music is timeless and every song is an asset, then you should treat your career as such. And no matter how old you feel you are, because many times us as artists, we feel like, if I didn't blow up while I was 16 because Bow Wow was on at this age, or whatever the case may be. And I just brought up Bow Wow. But any young artist that gets on, it's always an artist who might be older than that artist by a certain amount of years. And that new young artist makes that older artist that might be way more talented and might have a ton of hits inside of them, or just some timeless music. It makes that older artist feel old just because they didn't do it at the time that this artist did it. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother mindset. But understanding that music is timeless lets you know that there is no age to music. Music is only as old as the listener. I want you to ask yourself this. At what age do you plan on no longer listening to music? Now, you might not listen to a certain type of music, meaning if it's not elevating your vibration, you might not listen to that style of music. But at what age do you see yourself not liking rap as a rapper? What age do you see yourself not liking R&B if you're a singer? What age? What age do you see yourself not liking beats and instrumentals if you're a producer? At what age? You're going to always like it and have a love for it. You're going to listen to it. And you're not just going to listen to old stuff. You're going to be able to appreciate whatever is in the present as well. So that being said, music will always be being listened to, because it's one of those things that is timeless. It connects us with the creator itself. And it also connects us as individuals because it's non-biased. People are able to connect that might have come from totally different backgrounds, and it brings us together and minimizes all of the judgment that typically takes place in the physical form, because we're listening to something that's auditory. So since music is timeless, there's no such thing as a certain age to do a certain thing, unless the music is talking about something that you just have graduated from. And if so, that doesn't mean the music still can't work for you if put in the right areas. It can still be a moneymaker for you, even if you're not pursuing that type of music. So that's just totally up to you and based on what you want to do. But understand your music is timeless, and don't let it just collect dust if you know it has the ability to create multiple streams of income for you. All right, that's all I got. This video was a little longer than I wanted it to be, but hopefully it connects and gives you a thought process that you can adopt in terms of your art form, your music, and just gives you something to understand that when you create these songs, even if it hasn't popped for you, you feel like certain things haven't taken place fast enough, just understand music is timeless. And with the right push for a decent amount of time, you can learn some things that can make the next song, even if that next song that you start to push is an older song, you learn from it, you push it, and you grow it to a certain level. And before you know it, that music is generating you some form of income that it wasn't previously generating you, because music is timeless. That's all I got. Don't forget to visit wealthyrapper.com to get your free video so I can talk about how rappers are able to create multiple streams of income even if they never get famous, even if they never get a record deal. And if you just want to connect with me directly, visit cincosmith.com. I'm not all that active on social media like I should be, but at least connect to me. You might be able to just message me personally if you have any questions or any dialogue that we can create from whatever comes to mind off of videos like this. Salute.